When you play a fast-paced offense like North Texas, how does that prepare you for even faster offenses in USA?
Yeah, it's good that there's some carryover in the coaching points. You know, as far as like getting the call from the sideline, urgency to a line. So it's good that there's some carryover. It would be like playing, if you were playing two triple option teams, you'd love to play them back to back. You know, to just keep it moving. So.
And then looking at the North Texas game, was your evaluation of the two halves?
Yeah, it was sort of the opposite of the UAB game, right? It was. I thought we played really well in the first half, and then we got dinged up, and we were dinged up coming into the game. And then when you play a tempo team that's running that many plays that fast, and you get banged up, particularly in the back end, it's just hard. You wear out, and that sort of happened to us. And certainly I could have done some things differently to help us there and try to keep us fresher. But I thought we played really, really well in the first half. And obviously poorly in the second half, particularly in the fourth quarter.
What was different in the second half aside from just like guys getting more time?
That was probably the biggest thing. Yeah, just wearing out. Obviously, several big plays on the first play of drives, poor tackling, which is when we tackle well, we generally play pretty good defense. When we don't, we generally don't. So tackling was a big thing. I give them credit. I mean, They made some plays one-on-one in the second half that they didn't make in the first half. So props to them as well.
Do you think when the offense is scoring as frequently as they were, that the defense has to be out there a lot longer? So that's how they probably got a little bit more gas on top of it?
Yeah, I think, certainly never complaining when our offense scores, and they did a great job. And obviously they won us the game down the stretch there. But it's kind of the name of college football with these tempo teams. So certainly when you can rest and get to the side, I mean, if you've got all your guys and you can rotate, you can make it happen. It's just tough when you get thinned out, and guys are playing way more snaps than they should, and particularly having to play that many snaps in a row, and then where it's a quick score or a 3-and-out, something like that, it's tough to turn around and be refreshed to go play hard.
How do you grade how the secondary played? I know guys were getting injured and coming in and out, but just overall, how do you grade that?
Yeah. First half played well. Second half, again, it's if we played a good bit of man coverage, which we felt like we needed to because he's a really good quarterback and really good, passing offense. I mean, they do a good job on both sides. I mean, they're top 15 offense. I mean, top 15 offense nowadays in college football is a really good offense. I mean, think about how many dynamic offenses are out there these days. But when we were healthy and fresh, I thought we played really well down the stretch. When we got banged up and started to wear out, we lost some of those one-on-ones. And again, that's where, as the coordinator, I got to have a better plan down the stretch to either keep us fresher longer or to provide some relief when we get worn out towards the end.
With that kind of in mind, going this week and obviously knowing that you're playing another fast offense, what can you do differently to make sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah. Well, we're hoping we got some guys back. That's probably the biggest thing. We'll hope, fingers crossed, to have some guys that we didn't have last week. We'll start with that.
In practice, how does the defense and the offense work together in trying to simulate the fast pace that you guys are going to see on game day?
Yeah. We do some tempo periods where, it goes faster than it's really legally able to go. Their offense is rotating receivers every play so that if there's, from the previous play, the receivers don't have to run back. They just have another group ready to go, which, in real life, if they sub receivers, we're allowed to sub on defense, so it would slow everything down. But just stuff like that, just trying your best to make it faster in practice than it would be in the game, and it's obviously going to be lightning fast in the game. And I think these guys are the third fastest playing team in the country, something like that. So, great challenge.
Is that third fastest offense fast when you've got against, I think, this year, right?
Yes.
That kind of a challenge?
Yeah, that's the great thing about playing defense and coaching defense in this league. You can go to the Big Ten West and play, mundane. I hate to criticize, but it's the truth. I mean, I've been in that league for a long time. I mean, not the West, but certainly watched it. There's no high octane offenses in that league. There's some leagues have great offenses and some don't. In this league, every single week you're going to play a great quarterback, a great tailback, a receiver that's really hard to cover, and there's going to be some sort of dynamic scheme, whether it's tempo or triple option or whatever it may be. I mean, that's the fun part about being in this league. I mean, it's a challenge, and it's frustrating when you don't execute as well as you should, and when they score a lot of points. But outside of just a handful of teams in college football, I don't think that's the way the game's played anymore. You get every time, I say this every week I look at the scoreboards, the highlights. Somebody won 43-38. Somebody won, if you caught that Tulsa game against SMU, I mean, that's going to be another great challenge for it. Not to look ahead or anything, but just general commentary about the nature of this league. I mean, it's extremely dynamic offenses every week, and it's what's fun. I mean, it'd be boring to go play against 11 personnel inside zone every snap like they do in some other leagues. So I love it.
You feel like just the nature of how college football is going in offenses, does that force defensive coordinators across the country to kind of be more innovative in how they try to slow some of that stuff down?
Yes, let's go with that. I think Navy's got a great recipe for slowing other teams' offenses down, if that gives you a hint. Yeah.
And obviously, going after last week's high tempo game, the USF offense. Do you think what you guys experienced last week definitely prepared you for this up-tempo type of team?
Yeah. Again, I think it's nice that there's carryover in the coaching points, and we tried to practice fast, with the scout team last week, and we're practicing even faster with the scout team this week. So, glad that there's some carryover there.